All right, Doc. It's time to get into NWA WCW from May the 31st of 1986. And this was another short episode this week. I guess the
Yeah.
Braves were playing, so we only got
A
53
plus.
minutes.
A plus.
A plus all the way around on this one from the get-go. That's great. Harper, let me ask you a question. I know I texted you at 3:30 this afternoon, not 4 hours ago. Had you already watched it when I texted you?
No. I was in the
Permanently.
boss.
Harper lives his life permanently in gorilla position, ready to do a run-in.
Yeah.
That's right. So let's get into this show, man. It opens up. It's what appears to be the James boys in a match, but they are attacked by Cornette and the Midnight Express, where once again the crowd is just ridiculous. Seeing these crowds in these venues, it's just like, I can't say it enough, and I'm not trying to just oversell it. The crowds are just, it's incredible. So as they're about to go to the opening of the show with Crockett and Shivani, one of the James boys is about to get unmasked, and then they cut to the opening where then Tony and David have something to say. One question, Harper, Doc, did y'all hear the crowd again?
Bruh. Another packed house screaming their fucking heads off.
It's like okay, let me ask this other question. Do you think that place had air conditioning in '86?
God. Oh, speaking of that, I talked to Rod Price about the Sportatorium.
I'm sure he. Go ahead. I want to hear this. I've
Brother,
never heard it.
Did he say, brother, did that pussy Mills put you up to that shit?
He said he liked working there, and he said there was no fucking air conditioning, and for 30 days in a row, it was like 100 degrees in fucking Dallas.
Yep.
And it was hot as fuck, and I told him about how we did the world class.
Yeah, episode.
And how Kerry was all fucked up. He was like, dude, that was every day. He's like, if he wasn't fucked up, people would have thought something was fucking wrong with him.
Well, I didn't want to say that when we were talking about it. I've heard, but now that you've said it, I've heard some Kerry stories from Rod. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, we talked about it on the Patreon episode, but it's really sad. I mean, we're laughing, but it's really terrible. But yeah, Kerry was fucked up in that episode that we did. But you're right, man. It was 100+ degrees. So I go back to the episode though. I bet you that building didn't have AC. Well, let me say this. There's 50-50 probability it didn't. Would you say, Doc?
Did they say where that building was?
Tim Moretti, he's listening. He'll send it to me if I ask him. Tim, let me know where that was. I'm sure it was in, well, I don't know. I don't even want to guess. There's people out there who can just look at it and go, I know what building that is. But no, I'm not sure which one. But point is, even if it was hotter than, Six Suns, it was still on fire. People were going nuts, and that was the part I wanted to get to. So, hey, later on in
that now.
No, not at all. Later on in the show, we're going to talk about what happens right there when they cut away. But, so, Doc, do you have anything from the opening before I go to Dusty and Baby Doll's first promo?
Motherfuckers in the 80s could get a mask loose, but they sure couldn't finish the job.
What do you mean?
They were ready to take that mask off and waiting for the run-in, and it was just like, just take it off. Just take it off. Come on. Take it off. I want to see what it is.
Hey, bro.
That shit happened all the... I know. I loved it.
All right. So let's go to the promo now. This is Dusty and Baby Doll.
Take a look at that. But now let's bring in right now, you hear the cheers, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes and Baby Doll.
Definitely, darling. A lot of exciting things are happening in the world of professional wrestling. The Great American Bash throughout this country is the greatest sporting event in the history promoted by any promoter anywhere in the world, Jack. And Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. I want to say one personal thing to Washington, D.C. and RFK State and all the many fans out there. You know that there are a lot of brothers out there in Washington, D.C. that watch Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. And then there's one thing that Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream wants to be the world's heavyweight champion. And RFK Stadium and see some of the greatest football teams of all time. But Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, intends in Washington, D.C. had taken the World Heavyweight title. And now the Midnight Express talking about the James boys. I don't know about the James boys. I don't care about the James boys. All I know is, without a doubt, that Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA are going to get the job done to the Midnight Express because we all in it together, living on the edge of that lightning bolt crashing across the sky. And baby, I got something to say to Jimmy Cornette.
Cornette, say whatever you want to about me, about the James boys, about Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA, but I guarantee you, Dolly's boys, which consist of Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA, we're going to get you by the end of the match, and that's a promise.
All right, fans, let's go to the ring.
All right, Doc, I'll throw it to you first. Anything from the promo that you had?
RFK was a dump. That place should have been shut down years before. And the only good football games that Dusty saw there was when the Cowboys went up there once a year and put that smack on them. I did like him calling out the brothers, though. I mean, I appreciate that. And he thinks he's going to win the title this summer.
I laughed at him when he said that. Dusty's just trying to talk people into the building. RFK was a dump, but if you talk to, I was talking to Denim Fritz online, and Denim Fritz wants RFK back. He doesn't like FedEx Field, and I will say this about old stadiums like that, man. Those old stadiums had character, something that
I
new
love
stadiums
it.
don't. But anyway, Harper, anything from you on the promo?
I was wondering how's he putting it over the fucking Redskins. You know, he's when I think of Dusty, I think he'll be a fucking Cowboys fan.
And he's just trying to talk him in the building, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a fan of everyone. He's like a politician, dude.
He'll be a Cowboys fan when they come to Dallas.
Right. That's exactly what I thought. Yeah. Wherever he goes, whether he's going to Philly, whether he's going to Chicago, he's gonna be a fan of that team. It's like I gotta appeal to that fan base to get the fans into the building to see the wrestling. That's how it worked. So. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like when they cut the local promos back then.
Yeah.
They spoke to the people in that area. All right, so after that promo, I thought that was average at best. I mean, he popped me when he talked about the brothers in Washington, D.C., but that one did pop me. But after that promo is Hector Guerrero and Manny Fernandez versus Thunderfoot and Bob Owens. Hector and Manny, of course, get the win there. I didn't have anything from the match, Doc. Did you have anything?
How can Manny Fernandez be watching Jimmy Valiant's back if he's off tag teaming with Hector Guerrero?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. What the fuck, bro?
What the fuck is let's fill up a few minutes of, TV time right here. That's what the fuck.
I thought it was a good little match. That's about it.
Yeah.
I agree. It's, typical jobber, match where you get the wins for those guys on TV. All right, so then after that, we go from there to an Arn Anderson promo, and here that is.
Okay, fans, back at ringside, here is the World TV Champion, Arn Anderson.
Maybe Emmanuel Fernandez would like to try that maneuver on me sometime, Tony Schiavone. I'm sure he would. The Great American Bash, the greatest sporting event ever in the history of any promotion, is coming all throughout this country in the upcoming months. Right or wrong, Tony Schiavone? Right. And one of the topics of the World Television title. I don't care who it is. I want top contenders when I'm in the arena with 25 or 50,000 people, because Tony Schiavone, I base my credibility on one thing. That's defending this against the top competitors in the world today. And as you see, I do it week in and week out right on this television. Right or wrong?
Right.
That's the reason when I tell you something is going to happen, and I've been talking about all along the 4 horsemen, not 3. I'm talking about 4 horsemen, and you know who that is. That's my cousin, Ole Anderson, a man that taught me quite a bit about tag team wrestling and one thing alone about being a man. So Dusty Rhodes, when you and those 300-pound Road Warriors did what you did, and you know what I'm talking about, I told you there would be a rebuttal. So somewhere in this great land, at the time of our choosing, Ole Anderson will show back up. You can bank on that, Tony.
Back right after this timeout.
I'm going to go first. Arn said something here that just lit me up. He said, I base my credibility on one thing, facing the top contenders in the world today. I thought that was like an excellent line. I mean, he's not the chicken shit heel, but that was just such a great line from Arn, man, to just say, look, man, I'm taking them on, man. I ain't running from nothing. I ain't scared of shit. Doc, what did you have from it?
That, and we're about to get Ole back to just make it even worse on everybody.
For real, bro.
Yeah.
Dusty better start getting worried. That shit's coming soon.
Yeah, Ole's coming back very, very soon. That's all I'll say.
I'm waiting for fucking Ole, man.
Ole's coming back. Listen to me.
Full fingers.
Very, 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 very fucking soon, Ole will be back, bro.
I can't wait for Ole to come back. Words never spoken by anybody in the wrestling business.
Right. Well,
curmudgeonly bastard.
Well, we talk about it. Doc and I have talked about it offline, Hopper, and it's like Ole, from what it sounds like, and we've never met him, but he was a piece of work, so to say. But
yeah,
I told Doc, God damn, that old motherfucker, that old curmudgeon can sure cut a fucking promo though, can he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Luke told me about fucking Ole. He like met him one time years and years ago when he was, just starting out. Mm-hmm. And he saw him somewhere at a show or one of these, WrestleCade or something. It's like, hey, Ole, Luke, I met you so-and-so. It's like, I don't remember you. If you had tits, I would have probably remembered you. And he just kept on walking.
There you go.
Well.
There you go. There you go. Well, it could have been like when I told you this wasn't the first time I met Iceman, but I remember when Iceman came back in town and we were on a show together. He was looking for the broad that was my girlfriend at the time, her friend. He's like, where's she at, bro? Where's she at? So that's the reverse of it. He knew who I was because of my girlfriend at the time, her friend. Like the last time he was in town. That's all we'll say. All right. But that was good, man. Did you have anything else from that promo, Hopper, from Arn?
No.
No? Okay. So after that, we get a recap with Shivani and Crockett. And a recap in Ricky Morton wrestling Ric Flair, where Morton has Rick defeated. He's got Flair defeated, but the Horsemen come out, and they're basically like a pack of wild dogs. I mean, this is how it went down in the 80s. Rick, after they attack Morton, Rick hits a move off the top rope where he smashes Morton's face into the canvas. All this before Dusty makes a save. I mean, this is typical of this time period. This is what they fucking did, and that's that. So after that, though, well, I'll ask this, Doc, did you have anything there before I play Morton's promo?
I didn't see anything. My contact fell out.
Love it. Harper, what about you? Anything?
I mean, it fucking worked.
Hell yeah, it did.
The crowd bought into it all, so.
They sure did.
Are there two better guys on the planet to get their ass beat by the Horsemen than Dusty and Ricky Morton?
Yeah, really, huh?
No, there's not.
Mm-mm.
I'm sure somebody's gonna tweet it to me, but for my money, Dusty and yeah, for sure, Dusty and Morton. Okay, with that said, let's play Ricky Morton's promo right here.
Dusty Rhodes comes in, and Ricky, obviously this is not the situation you want to be in, but it's good to see you and Robert out here.
Tony, let me tell you something. It's all started right here. Ric Flair, you come out here on TV, brother, you try to put us down. You put the nice people down, and I put you in your place. Now, what gets him down, Tony, is a point of jealousy because you know you can't beat the Rock and Roll Express no time, any place, or anywhere. So you thought by coming out, getting Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and J.J. Dillon, not breaking my nose, Tony, but crushing it, that it's going to stop us? No way, brother. You're not going to stop us, Flair, because you see right here, I got two of them, specially made, brother, to step right back in the ring. You may crush my nose, brother, but my nose is a long way from my heart. And I'm going to prove to you, because the way I was brought up, baby, it's an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, and we're going to sell it that way. Woo!
The Rock and Roll Express will take this brief time out and be right back.
Doc, go ahead. What you got?
My nose is a long way from my heart. God damn. The only person that I want to hear that from more than him is Tracy Smothers.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. What good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. You're right.
Yeah. That's all I have written down from that. My nose is far away from my heart, so fuck you.
that makes us a trifecta. The other thing I did have is, to me, not only that, but that's how you make a babyface look good and strong. He's got a broken nose, damn near had his entire face, broken.
But he's not out.
Right. He's like, nah, bruh, I'm still coming for you, Flair. It's just that's how you make him look strong. And then they kind of overdid the mascara under the eyes.
You think?
Yeah. Now that I look at it now, as a 41-year-old, but. Taking it for what it was back then, you're like, God damn, man, this shit was perfect. So I loved it. Anything else, Doc, from you?
No, it was good stuff.
Yeah. So after that is a match. It's Wahoo versus Vernon Deaton. Steve Regal comes out on commentary to say Wahoo is getting what he deserves from Jimmy Garvin. I'm sure they gave you all kinds of excitement. I'm sure that gave you all kinds of excitement, Doc, when you heard Regal on commentary. It takes a minute or so, but Wahoo finally gets Deaton with a series of chops and then beats Deaton, gets the win. Doc, anything from the match?
If you like lengthy matches, this is not the week for you.
Yeah, really, huh?
Yeah, they were. Everything is condensed this week. You notice that most of the promos are like a minute. Most of the matches are scrunched down. Now, we've got a long segment coming up in a second, but everything else is really, really short. So, Harper, anything from you on the match?
The only thing I have written down is Steve Regal was poo. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck that dude.
So, just so you know, Doc sent me the match where Garvin and Regal defeated the Road Warriors from the AWA, like right after the show we did last week. And then I literally must have gotten 15 tweets and Facebook messages from people sending me the match.
Thanks. That's real helpful. That's real helpful. Thanks, everybody.
Well, no, what I was going to say was, no,
calm down.
Garvin and Regal didn't pull out a rifle and shoot the Road Warriors to get the win. I think Precious must have maced Animal, because Animal was the one who I believe took the pin, if I'm remembering correctly. But it kind of happens off camera. But we did see it, so everyone out there who sent it, thank you. We had seen it right after. But it was definitely... let me say this. I had never seen it before, obviously, but I thought more could have been done to beat the Warriors for the belts. And that was my opinion on it. But whatever. All right, Doc, this is a rather long segment coming up. It's the Russians and Magnum TA press conference. So I'm going to play it. Harper, if you got to take a piss, now might be the time.
All right.
Man, this Hennessy's kicking in on me tonight.
Oh.
All right, here it is. Let's listen to the press conference. We've had this thing going on with Magnum and the Russians and the whole, U.S. belt and whatnot. So they're going to sign the contract. Here's the press conference.
Wanted that press conference. They got it. And what happened in that press conference with Magnum TA, you just got to see it to believe it.
Let's take a look at that press conference for the signing of the U.S. Heavyweight title match on television.
Hello, I'm Sandy Scott, representing the National Wrestling Alliance and appearing on behalf of Jim Crockett Promotions. I have with me a contract for Magnum TA to defend the United States Heavyweight Championship on Saturday, June the 7th, on the Superstation WTBS, with a 60-minute time limit against the challenge of Nikita Koloff. You sign this contract, please. The last page. Thank you very much, Magnum. Mr. Koloff, last page, please.
June 7th. Yes, 60 minutes, yes.
Ivan's looking over the contract. He's trying to make sure he's
sure.
got all his
everything is
I's dotted and
just
T's
the way
crossed.
We had agreed upon. Yes, nephew. Nikita.
Come on, Ivan, sign the contract. Or I'm sorry, Nikita. Belt sander for the win on this week, too.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. The match is now officially signed and sanctioned, and I understand that Ivan Koloff, as a spokesman for challenger Nikita Koloff, has a statement he wishes to make at this time. Ivan?
I'm glad we are having this press conference. Because of all the controversy in signing the contract, coming to terms, it is important now to let the whole world know that everything is agreed upon, and Magnum TA on June the 7th, as much as the American people admire you, look up to you as United States heavyweight champion, on June the 7th, in the Superstation, you are going to meet my nephew Nikita, the superior athlete. And on this date, he is going to defeat you for the United States heavyweight title.
How come all the time now you bring your mother around? You like, how you say in this country, you like, maybe these mama boy, maybe got these apron string to you, maybe she's a contract for you. You know, in the Soviet Union, woman, she know her place, and it's no in front of camera. No, Magatie, you bring her today, and now you prove to Nikita that a Russian woman got a much more class than stinking American woman.
Gentlemen. Go!
What are you doing? June the 7th, a new United States heavyweight champion.
Well, it's not really the way you wanted to see the press conference end, but we're here with Jim Crockett Jr., president of Jim Crockett Promotions. Finally, the match has been signed.
That's right. It's taken many months to get the match signed. But next Saturday here on the Superstation, we will have the U.S. title match. And I regret that Magnum fell prey to the psychological warfare of the Russians, but we will have that match.
And that is next week right here on the Superstation for that U.S. heavyweight title. We'll be right back.
I know that was a long segment, but I wanted to play it for a reason because I actually think that for, like, what Nikita did there was actually one of the best things I've seen him do since we started doing these.
By far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doc, your thoughts on the press conference in general and everything that went down there?
Well, why was that shit held in 1968?
What are you talking about?
That room looked like it was straight out of 1968.
Oh, I got you.
Those gold curtains and their white suits and shit.
Oh, you know.
Looked like
whatever.
they got in a damn time machine and went back to... I don't know. I thought that was by far the most effective thing we've seen out of Nikita Koloff, maybe ever, so far.
Yeah. Promo-wise, for sure, definitely. Harper, what did you have? Anything?
Why was this mama there for real? Like,
right.
Why was she there?
Why did you bring your mama to the fight?
Well, they needed a reason. Lunch. They needed a reason to have him go off and lose his mind. And I love what Nikita said. He's like, "Why'd you bring your mama here, mama's boy?"
Yeah.
He starts attacking Nikita's mom, and then it was funny. He's like, "In Russia, women know her place." That was perfect. I loved it. This was good. And then, you know, Sandy Scott could have had a little bit more excitement. Jesus Christ.
Gentlemen, please.
Right. Gentlemen, please. We'll sign the contract now. Yeah, man. Okay, Doc, anything else?
Nah, bye.
All right. Harper, you?
Nope.
After that attack, and we find out that, you know, June the 7th, we're going to have a U.S. title match. We go to a match then with Shaska Whatley versus Bill Mulkey. Paul Jones, I should say, and Baron Von Raschke are on commentary.
Oh, they ruined that shit.
Paul Jones and Baron Von Raschke?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Right. Well, my point, my note says they're on commentary and they're pointless. Because Shaska is in the ring spitting and taunting Bill Mulkey.
Just spitting on a motherfucker repeatedly.
Yeah. He's spitting on Mulkey. Like, Shaska's entertaining in there, and Shaska wins with ease. But Jones and Baron on commentary, I was like, this shit's pointless. Why are they out there on commentary? We didn't need them. Because Shaska was acting such a fool. I agree, Harper.
And that little box covered up the fucking screen.
They got a real problem with that shit. They need to learn how to do it in set. box. Jesus Christ.
And for everybody listening, he's talking about the fact that the match is going on.
Yeah.
And they want to show Jones and Barron on commentary, so they got them on video, but the box is covering up the match, basically. Oh, yeah. It was kind of pointless. Shaska was entertaining, man. Doc, did you catch him spitting and taunting Malky?
Of course. That was my note, is that why does he keep spitting on this albino kid?
I think I heard somebody yell, "Beat that hillbilly's ass" in the ring, too.
I bet you didn't.
But anyway. Okay. Moving on. We got Ric Flair coming up, so let's hear what Ric's got to say right here.
It certainly was not pretty what happened to Ricky Morton in the hands of Nature Boy Ric Flair, but here he is, the heavyweight.
Before we get fired up by Ricky Morton, once again, let's show the entire sporting world that the world champion indeed is a fashion plate beyond compare. Once again, huh? Custom made. Looking as only the world champion should look. And obviously looking a whole lot better than your friend and mine, Ricky Morton. Now, David Crockett, don't stand over there. You got something to ask me? You want to know why I did that? You want to know why Morton's walking around now? Probably with a mark that he'll carry the rest of his life. You know why? Because he dared to think that in one day in his entire life, he was half the man. Woo, and I say half the man that Ric Flair, the world champion, is. And this applies to Baby Doll. It applies to Ricky Morton. It applies to anybody that doesn't think for 1 minute that this is a man's sport. Just because I'm Slick Rick, styling and profiling, doesn't mean that I don't know how to be just as mean and tough and nasty as my job dictates I have to be. You see, to be number one, you can't always be the most popular kid on the block. So Morton, learn to live with it, punk. You dared to cross the line into no man's land, and that made you fair game for the Four Horsemen. Okay? I'm talking about the world television champion. I'm talking about the national champion. I'm talking about the world heavyweight champion. And I'm talking about Ole Anderson, a name that's going to be back in front of all of us real soon. Now, David, come on, baby, fire something at me. What do you want to know?
Why did it take four of you?
Why did it take four of us? Did it look like I was in trouble when they came in the ring? I'll tell you how it was. Arn and Tully came down to the ring to congratulate me on another tremendous victory. Morton attacked them, and consequently, rock and roll. Let me show you about rock and roll, okay? We all know that Ricky Morton is a connoisseur of beautiful women. So you see, what I've done here is I've gone out and I've bought a bathing suit that Ricky Morton can put on one of his girlfriends. Now see, this is probably a little big for most of the girls that follow Morton around, but I'm sure that if they gain a little weight, they'll be able to wear this. Ricky Morton, rock and roll. Woo! The Nature Boy is here to stay forever and ever.
We're coming right back.
Doc, you first.
Interesting promo, because the first half was, I thought, super on point with the whole, hey, look, I'm a fashion plate, but I'll do exactly what the job requires, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to hold on and be the champ, which I thought was a great way to put it out there. And then he pulled out the smallest little, I mean, those clothes look like they would go on a baby doll, like a real baby doll.
I mean, it looked like something that
a child,
damn near a Barbie doll too.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So it was so bad. It was like, is he calling Morton a pedophile?
Bro, it was bad. The clothes was bad. The swimsuit he pulled out was unreal bad.
Yeah, that had to be from like a Cabbage Patch Kid or something.
It really was. Oh man. What else, Doc? Anything?
No, I calls them like I sees them, and I think the first half was excellent, and the second half was a little off. There you go.
Yeah. What'd you have, Harper?
I like that he dared to think he was half the man that I am. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was. I just like. Well, let me ask this. Besides the promo, did y'all catch the broad at the beginning licking her lips when he?
Yeah, he fucked her.
Yeah.
Okay,
I bet on that day, he
one
fucked
down,
3 bitches.
One down, 9,999 to go.
For real.
I mean, Rick probably showed up at the TV tapings, peeked out the curtain, saw 4 of them. He was like, "Give me that one right there. I'm gonna get her before I cut my promo." Got it, knocked it out. Then cut his promo, went to whoever else he had hooking him up in the back, and said, "Go get me that one over there. I want that one. Bring her back here." He got a couple during the taping alone, much less that night. Allegedly. I'm just speculating, right?
He said it.
I like this because on with the promo, he's a tough guy with the announcer. You know, he's screwing with Crockett right there. And Crockett, well, why do you need help for your friends? Oh, no, I didn't need help. I was celebrating. They came out to celebrate with me, which is a clear contradiction of what you saw. That's what I liked about it. So,
of what you saw, I saw what Rick saw.
Exactly. There you go. Okay. Question for the next thing. So the next thing is a long promo and match. Did you have notes from that, Doc, with JJ and Tully?
I thought it was interesting that they were out there kind of helping Leo Burke. Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't think we should play all that. We could talk about it.
Yeah, what'd you have from it all? Because, I mean, it's a promo but a match kind of at the same time from the local venue. But what did you have, Doc?
Well, basically, Tully is kind of out there in a sling because his arm's supposed to be hurt. JJ's out there at ringside as well, and Leo Burke is in a match with Garvin, and I think he's even bleeding by the end. JJ jumps in to try to help and takes off his shoe, and that doesn't go so well. And in comes Tully, and Tully knocks his ass out. Payow!
What'd you have from it, Harper?
He fucking busted it open with that tape fist.
He sure
just
did.
Tape. It's just tape. You can go buy it anywhere.
Yeah, it's fucking $2.
Yeah, it's just tape. You can buy it anywhere. The whole thing with Leo Burke, I guess, well, I don't know. When Leo Burke did that taping a few months back, or maybe a month ago, wasn't he a heel when we watched that episode, remember?
Yeah, buddy.
Was
he? I guess, yeah, I think so. So I guess, him being out there as a heel is not really, anything. We haven't seen him on TV in a while. I don't think it's anything major as far as him being a heel and helping them, but I think it just fit the storyline, what they were trying to do with Garvin. But yeah, Tully knocked him out, and that was that. You're right. Leo Burke is busted open.
Yeah.
In that match. So, and the funny part, those fans are still chanting "I quit," which is interesting. Okay, so after that, the next thing is a match, and it's the Midnight Express versus Art Pritz and Brody Chase. When Corny announces the Midnight Express, when Corny announced the Midnights, Bubba is out there with him finally, I should say. We've been saying it for weeks, but they finally brought Bubba out. Cornette is yapping on commentary about not being scared of the James boys. Shivani points out that Cornette might sound brave with Bubba out there, but I mean, obviously he's got protection. That's why he sounded so brave. Midnight's win after Condrey hits his finisher, and the Eaton comes off the top rope with an elbow drop. Doc, anything from the match before I go to Cornette's promo?
Did you notice that the Israeli flag in the background was terribly scrunched up?
No.
Bothered the shit out of me during this match. If you're going to hang a flag, hang it right. We must respect our flags.
Yeah.
We We must bow before them.
You just said two contradicted things. You say we
What?
must respect them, and then you say we must bow before them. You're trying to be funny, and it's a terrible joke. A terrible joke. Okay.
Ben.
And then Harper, you're saying bend the knee. That's a fucking
Bend the knee.
That's a Game of Thrones reference. You
Bend the knee.
Oh boy, no politics here. Okay. So let's go to Cornette now. Let's see what Cornette has to say after the Midnight's win right here.
Jim Cornette. Bubba Rogers, Loverboy Dennis, and beautiful Bobby. You all know him. And you know something, Tony? I've said many times that my mother's a wealthy woman. She has a lot of influence with people. Well, Bubba Rogers is an old friend of the Cornette family from Louisville, Kentucky. Every time that my mother's had a little job that needed to be done or a debt that needed to be collected, some little errand or something, Bubba's been more than happy to do it for a little financial recompensation. But, you know, hey, everybody's out to make a living, and Bubba was sent down here because you see with those backstabbing, back-jumping James boys on the loose, Dusty and Magnum, with them trying to jump me from behind, do me bodily harm. These men are the World Tag Team Champions. They got to concentrate on getting in that ring and defending their title and wrestling the best they know how, which they're the best at. So Mama sent Bubba down to be my bodyguard, Tony. And from now on, I'm going to say this, James boys, and anybody else that wants to lay a finger on me or do me any kind of harm, you're going to have to go through Bubba Rogers. And believe me, James boys, you talk about being outlaws. Well, Bubba Rogers has done some pretty nasty things in his time, and he's not opposed to doing a few more as a favor to me and my mother. He's been taking care of me for a long time now. So, James boys, that's the notice. Bubba Rogers is my bodyguard. Loverboy Dennis and beautiful Bobby are going to be defending the World Tag Team titles as best they know how, and I know what you're going to say. We want to see a tape.
The James boys, they're back jumpers. In addition to that, Jim Crockett Promotions on their side.
Let's take a look at the tape that we're talking about. You're talking about unmasking the James boys, David. That's what he's been talking about for a long time. We're going to take a look at the James boys.
Promotions is on their side. Everybody's on their side because the plain fact of the matter is we would have had them right here if it hadn't been for the sneaky trick. Look at that. We come in the ring. Hey. They talk about being outlaws. We'll outlaws.
You're coming in after the James boys.
Yeah.
And now, Jim, here is your chance to expose the James boys.
We're trying to expose the James boys, but look what happens. Look what happens. As soon as I get in the ring, I tell my boys, I say, get the mask off that clown. Let's see his ugly face. Let's show the whole world his face. And look at this, the ultimate indignity. Jim Crockett Promotions, I know, is behind it. I know that everybody was paid off to do this. It's that bum, that no-good clown, Tony Zane. And look who's behind it.
He's one of the James boys.
Dusty Rod. No, it wasn't one of the James boys.
Well, they came from the black mask and the riding coats.
He was one of the fake James boys. He wasn't one of the real James boys because the real James boys are fake James boys. That's right. I mean, the Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA is who the James boys are, and everybody knows it. And it was Tony Zane and some other clown who got hired by Jim Crockett and the NWA, who's against. What do you want?
Okay.
Jimmy Cornette,
Baby doll's
I
here.
dare you. I dare you to get in the ring during a match because, you see, I have a little surprise for you. You see, because I don't think you'll get any tights in the back because I'm going to put my curves in the tights because I've got a little surprise for you. Dusty and Magnum TA have taught me something that's going to blow the whole United States, the whole world away, and I'm going to put it on you, Cornette. That's my dare to you.
Sounds like a challenge to me.
Hey, I know what Dusty Rhodes and Magnum TA have been teaching her. Baby doll, ain't no woman in the world can beat a man in a wrestling match. You want me in the ring, you fat hog, you got it.
Oh, my goodness, an irate Jim Cornette. This has not been his day. Coming right back.
Doc, go ahead.
The weird part about all this is that somewhere lost in this is that Tony Zane picked up a win.
That's all. I mean, yeah, but come on. Okay. Well, I see what you're saying.
I heard some intel from some inside source, industry insiders, that Baby Doll's been listening to our show. Let me just say how much better Baby Doll looked this week than last week, and she was looking good last week. She was looking very beautiful. She's looking even more so this week.
You heard from some insiders. Oh, okay. Sure thing, Chief. I would love to get her on the show. Everybody out there in the BTT Army, if you're listening to this, tweet her. Tell her that you'd love to hear her on booking the territory. Let's just say that out. Let's put that out there right now. We would love to have her as a guest on this show.
Will you play some special a blast from the past from Buddy Landell for her?
That's
no, sir. That's come on, Doc. Come on, Doc. What else did you have from this?
Well, I know who Bubba is. Doesn't everybody?
Well,
That's not a big secret. Stand back there. And he's sitting back there saying, I've known Bubba for a long time. He's been watching my back for a long time. Dude, Bubba's 22 years old and Cornette's 26 years old. How long are we talking about here?
Right. Oh, boy. Harper, what'd you have from it?
I said, look, it's Killer Kyle.
Because of the suit. Yeah, they don't like
the
Kyle,
suit,
though.
the sunglasses, the fucking hat, the whole night. I was like, okay. And I was listening to the crowd. See, I was waiting for someone to say, hey, that's fucking Ray Traylor. but no one said it, so.
I think they hit it well back then.
I think they did, too.
Like, with the suit, the glasses, the hat, I think they hit it really well. I don't know if people really noticed. I mean, I know I didn't as a kid. I didn't remember. Because the thing was, Ray wasn't like flashy. He was just a job guy. So, they threw him in that gimmick and you just couldn't tell. I thought they hit it really well. And he made his debut. So I love this. I love how they pulled that fast one on the Midnights and Jim Cornette. They put Houston and Tony Zane under the hoods and then had them unmask the fake James boys. And then listening to Cornette, I don't want that to get lost in that. Listening to Cornette try to explain what happened was hilarious. Because he's like, we took the mask off the James boys, but it wasn't the real James boys. It was the fake James boys. The real James boys are Dusty and Magnum. And those are the fake James boys. And it just makes you look like a psycho lunatic because everybody's like Shivani's like, what are you talking about? You unmasked them and it was Tony Zane, so I enjoyed that, but maybe it was just me. Doc, anything else from you?
No, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Harper, what about you? Anything else?
All
right. I do want to play Jimmy Garvin right here because of what he says. Let me play it. Here it is.
Gorgeous Jimmy and Precious looking around for some. What are you looking around for?
I'm telling you something. We got to check everywhere. I got so many things to say. First of all, poor Jim Cornette. The man's going to have a nervous breakdown if you people don't get off his case. And no wonder. You got that loose Jezebel out here looking like a big cumulus nimbus cloud floating around with every man in the NWA. I mean, honey, I'm sorry that you got to see a woman like that around here. And for that, I'm going to dub you the super lady of the Superstation. And everybody knows that you deserve that title. Now, down to some serious business. One Yahoo McDaniels, I came to the NWA, I got tired of him, I got rid of him. I dropped him on his head and I thought maybe he'd quit professional wrestling. No, he's just gone insane and got goofier. I'm gonna call the police on him, I'm gonna warn him one more time. Last week I was out here and I told you I'm gonna beat him like the dog that he is if he don't leave me alone. A couple of nights ago he passed in front of my house in that beat up 56 Chevy with the lights off, cruising my neighborhood, trying to peek in my windows. Now let me tell you something, you sneaky Indian. I've been doing a little research and I found out. Long time ago when you didn't pick corn quick enough, they tied you to an oak tree and strapped you. Well, now that's just what I'm going to do to you if you don't leave me and my fine neighbors alone. I am not messing with you no more. I beat you like the dog that you are. I even humiliated you in front of millions of fans, and you still insist on bugging the greatest wrestler in the world. So now, do you think he'll get the message, baby?
I think so, gorgeous.
He better get the message, or he's going to have to answer to the greatest wrestler in the world, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, which, by the way, have I told you lately, it's not my fault, Tony.
Let's go to the ring.
Harper, I'll throw it to you first this time.
Making fun of that fucking Indian, bro. What the fuck?
Why do you have to bring up corn?
He didn't pick enough corn, so they tied his ass up.
If it got
and calling fucking baby doll a fucking cloud that's floating around banging everybody.
It was so ridiculous. He called her a big, huge cumulus nimbulus cloud. She's a Jezebel, whatever, doing everybody. It's like, damn. Like, holy shit. Oh, goodness. Doc, what do you think?
He said Jezebel. There you go.
I mean, I got a lot of respect for Baby Doll, man. Baby Doll must have had some thick skin back then.
Yeah.
I mean, she knew they were working, but damn. It's vicious, bro.
Thick guts, too.
I mean, it's vicious. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Doc, anything else from that?
Mm-mm.
What was your thoughts on when he said corn?
I thought that was a little unfortunate. But yeah. But let me just say this. Let's defend Baby Doll a bit here. Baby Doll's out there, and the two main chicks, broads, squeezes running around the promotion are her and Precious. Give me Baby Doll over Precious any day of the week.
Yeah, for real, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I got to give Jimmy Garvin some credit though lately, man. Jimmy Garvin's been pulling out some crazy promos the last few weeks, and I just want to shout him out, man. I don't know if
maybe he's trying to stick out into a singles feud so they don't pair him back up with Steve Regal, who followed him over from the AWA.
Maybe so. Okay, so after the promo with Garvin, Rock and Roll Express versus Dave Dillinger and Paul Garner. Rock and Roll wastes no time and pull a Magnum TA and win in like 10 seconds with a double drop kick. Paul Garner said to himself when he was out there, "Fuck, I'll take that double drop kick any day of the week. Praise you, Lord." Doc, anything from that match?
What? It was over too fast.
Man, did you time it?
No, I forgot. It was over too fast.
Good Lord. Man, it ended quick. Harper, anything from you?
No.
Yeah, it ended
2 seconds long.
It was like 2 seconds. So after that, we got a Nikita and Ivan promo, and here it is.
We've seen the press conference. We have seen the actions. Why would this man, Ivan Koloff, say what he said to Magnum TA's mother?
First of all, nephew Nikita and myself are going to be very pleased to have Crusher Khrushchev back by our side, but I'm sure the Road Warriors will not be as pleased. Now, as far as Magnum TA and the press conference is concerned, he got what he deserved, insulting nephew Nikita by bringing woman to such important affair. And Magnum TA, as far as your comment about nephew Nikita losing the edge, do not lower yourself to David Crockett's level. David Crockett, as far as your derogatory remarks about nephew Nikita last week, if you want to critically analyze anyone, you should look at yourself. As a professional announcer, you're supposed to be impartial and unbiased. Instead, you are prejudiced and you are ignorant. Instead of coming out here and judging us by our heritage, you should be judging us by our athletic and wrestling ability, which you have neither of. Now, nephew Nikita, I'd like to be the first to congratulate you on being United States heavyweight champion.
Mega TA, you got a 7-day Mega TA. 7 days to enjoy you, Tiger. Enjoy, because this is going to be last. And Crockett, you shut you stinking mouth about Nikita and Uncle Lyman. You know how this job, even though no for you now.
You see, Magnum TA, the time has run out for you. 7 more days. That is, unless they say in America, you chicken out and don't show up.
All right, let's go to the ring.
All right. Harper, what did you think about it?
I love when he says, you should judge us by our character. Not by our fucking wrestling ability.
He pulls like a Martin Luther King. You need to judge us by the content of our character, pal. Oh, man. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Anything else, Harper?
No.
Me either. Doc, what about you?
I just think Uncle Ivan picked up the tone a little bit, picked up his step a little bit, because it's, here we are, we're ready now. So he was, it's on.
I agree. I loved his insult to women there, and Nikita, well, that wasn't bad. I mean, it was still the mumble in Nikita, but I was fine with it right there. But I really like Ivan there, messing with Crockett. Because, like, he used I don't want to say a big word, but almost semi-big word. Like, yeah, you're supposed to be fair and impartial. It's like, okay.
That's a big word for you.
It's a big word for a Russian.
Right. What's this place you're from? Gentilly? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh,
Harper's been telling me more and more about Gentilly lately. I understand.
Has he?
I need to stop being so hard on you. It's amazing that you got this far.
Fuck you.
Trash.
Trash.
Anything else from the promo?
Trash.
That's what I thought. Next matchup is the Baron Von Raschke, and Barbarian versus Rocky King and Italian Stallion. Thank God for Shaska Watley dropping in a few times on commentary, calling Jimmy Valiant the King of Hillbillies and saying they are also going to cut Valiant's head off and not just his hair. Wow, Game of Thrones there. Let's cut the man's head off. Otherwise, this match was not worth a quarter. Baron and Barbarian get the win. Harper, what'd you think?
God.
For real.
It's just horrible.
Yes. Doc, you?
I'm not even going to pretend like I watched it. That got a fast forward, pal.
Yeah, for real.
Bruh, Shaska was the only thing worth listening to.
I didn't know, and to be fair, I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, he came out, he dropped in a few times during it, and it was the only thing that really kept me halfway engaged. Otherwise, it was like,
fair enough.
Lord. After that, there's a promo that is, I don't say a promo, but Shivani and Crockett throw us to a special announcement from Bob Geigel, the NWA president. And basically, Geigel's talking about what's going to happen at the Bash. And should the champion lose, the new champion will continue with the title defenses. Did you have anything from that, Doc?
Did that really need to be explained?
Yeah.
Apparently it did, according to them. Harper,
I like the fact that they're throwing it to Kansas City for a ruling from the board, even though by this point Crockett was kind of trying to take over and monopolize the title. That it still gave that sense of the old NWA with territories and different, things, and he's the head. And I know he might be a figurehead at that point, but still, there is a small air of legitimacy to the proceedings. Even if they weren't needed.
I'll ask this. To me, I guess when you do that, you're also planting the seeds of, Rick's had it now for a while. Could he, if he loses it? Wow. I didn't think about that. What happens with the champ going forward? So I think that was part of it too. Like, to me, I don't know. Harper, what were your thoughts on it? Anything you had?
It just explained, if you were a fan, you would think, well, what if Rick loses it on the second night?
Do I still get to see it? Do I still get to see a title match?
Right, exactly. So
I was good with that. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
After that, this next match is Ronnie Garvin versus Kent Glover. Poor Kent Glover. This dude deserves hazard pay.
No.
What?
Lucky Kent Glover.
Why do you say that?
Well, they were running out of time, so he didn't get the full stretch.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. The only reason I said poor Kent Glover is because he didn't get the full stretch, but still he's only getting probably about $25 here. And although he lost quickly, this guy gets in there with Ronnie Garvin a lot, it seems. And he gets... I agree. It was much quicker, but still. Harper, any thoughts from you on it?
No.
Yeah, me either. Doc, anything else you got?
No, ma'am.
All right, let's listen to Cornette now. This is the last promo of the show before we go off air. Here it is.
All right, here you go. I want you to get a good shot of that, America, because that's what Baby Doll's going to look like. I have never seen anything so ridiculous in my life as a woman, even a big fat woman like that coming out here and challenging a man to a wrestling match. Baby Doll, you're jealous because you're not a man. You're jealous because you can't get in there and wrestle and be tough like men. And you're jealous of me because I look better than you. So what do? You come out here, you want to make a fool out of me. Well, let me tell you something, Baby Doll. I'm going to send you back to the kitchen, rattling all those pots and pans around and sticking those TV dinners in the oven just like every woman in the world ought to be, because that's your place. And James, boys, I want you to take another good look at my friend Bubba. because Mama told me that there is no way on earth that any harm's going to come to me as long as Bubba's around. And you saw NWA President Bob Geigel, the Fred Mertz of professional wrestling, out here a minute ago on a tape. Sure, he's happy to see skydivers and Great American Bashes and parties. But when it comes down to doing his job, when it comes down to suspending people, when it comes down to fining people, making people take masks off because they're cowards, he won't do his job. Jim Crockett Promotions, the NWA, everybody's against me, but James, boys, I'll get revenge, and baby doll, watch out.
We'll see you next week on World Championship
Yes, we
Wrestling.
will.
Harper, what do you think about the closing promo?
Fuck, man. Cornette's working overtime tonight, huh? Fuck.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, he's putting in some work, man.
Those fucking James boys. Fuck.
He's that, and he went off on Baby Doll on that right there.
That fat cow.
That's basically what he said, man. That's a shame. Harper, I mean, Doc, what'd you have?
Yeah, he's just, man, he doesn't drink or do drugs. So I was like, did he have some extra fun dip or some shit, get too much sugar in his system? He's fired up. And you got to think, with Bubba coming in, him firing it up with Baby Doll and the rock and roll and all this, it's just I'm ready for some bashes, dude.
He said Baby Doll needs to go back to the kitchen rattling pots and pans and cooking those TV dinners in the ovens. I was like, God dang. I mean, he was just ruthless on her. And then he gets back to the James boys too. So yeah, and that was the episode, man. I always forget whether we do Rolexes first or whatnot. I'm going Rolex, and I'm giving it to Corny. Doc, who are you giving yours to?
Oh, it's absolutely Jim Cornette.
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be. He fucking worked overtime.
He sure did.
Yeah.
The first promo he did, I thought was really good, where he tries to explain that wasn't the James boys, it was the fake James boys, and if you pay attention, Shivani's like, "What? You sound like a lunatic." You know, he's selling it like Corny's losing his mind, and then he's out there ripping on Baby Doll the first time, and then he comes back and rips on Baby Doll again. It was just one after another, just ripping on Baby Doll. Like, good Lord. So it's got to be Cornette. Now, episode wise, it was short, but I gave it a B minus.
Yeah.
Would you, Harper? You?
About that. Yeah, because I mean, it was short, and the promos. I mean, it was like an abbreviated version of the show. So.
Yeah, it was just nothing like remarkable. I mean, you had the signing and everything. I'm saying B minus. I could probably bump it up to a B, but I don't know. Doc, your thoughts?
B.
Yeah. It was solid. I mean, you know, and again, I always point to it.
It would. Hey, here's the thing. There's some jackass wrestling promotions that we talked about earlier, trying to crush everybody, that ought to take note. If I had to watch the same quality spread out over 85 minutes, it would have been a C+. But because it was condensed down into 53 minutes, you get a B.